Jesus Christ, it's cold over there. Give you a midget fist. Y'all know what midget fists are, don't you?
No.
It's when your nipples get so hard that from the silhouette you look like a midget running with his fish out. Earlier, Scuba Steve was talking about the fleshlight. My wife got one of those with the warming thing in it, you know, and I thought it was for me, but it turns out she just wanted a place to keep her vibrator. All right, how's everybody doing tonight?
I love your shirt.
Do you know who my wife hates?
Who?
She hates my girlfriend. I know you'd think she'd be over it. They've been sisters all their lives.
Oh, damn.
You know how I know when I need a new girlfriend? She starts agreeing with my wife. I wanted to be a stay-at-home dad, but I couldn't, because that's where my kids were. You remember when UNICEF used to come to your door and knock on the door?
Yeah.
You could feed a kid in Africa for 75 cents. I always wanted to do that. Just couldn't afford to send my kids there. Being dad was really a fucking horrible job, you know. You probably made more mistakes than I did successes, you know. And I was recently disturbed to find out after a talk with my daughter that how traumatized she was from high school, you know, that she said between the sexual harassment, the shitty food, the bullying, there was a shooting the last year, a couple students didn't make it, you know, and I told her I felt bad for her, you know, and homeschooling in hindsight probably wasn't the best for everybody.
Oh, no.
But being grandpa, that's so much easier, you know. I love spending time with my grandkids. They're always a good source for jokes and entertainment. Like I took my granddaughter to Walmart, you know, and we've been spending the day learning about cognitive words and conjunctions, and whenever you hear this word, that word usually follows, you know. These words go together a lot, you know. She's misbehaving in the toy department, and I told her, I said, if you don't sit down and behave, I'm going to spank your butt. And in the loudest voice she could muster, she responds, "You can't touch my butthole." And I said, "Shh, you better be quiet or Papa's going to get arrested." Jesus Christ. Took her down to the local record store. And on the wall they had the poster of the Nirvana album, the Nevermind. I don't know if you know that album. It has a baby swimming in a pool after a dollar bill. And as we go up to the counter to pay, she says to me, she says, "Papa, that boy has money and a penis."
Oh.
The guy behind that counter looks at me real funny, and I said, "Hey, what can I say? She knows what she wants." My grandson, her younger brother, he's an old soul, you know. I mean, he's 4, but I think he's about 50 inside, you know. And his favorite music's big band music, you know. And he recently got a divorce, you know, and he's hoping that he can rebuild what's left of his life, you know. The other day I was giving him a bath, you know, and he's taking a bubble bath, and I bought him a bunch of plastic sharks and fish and stuff, and he's got them all in the tub, and he's playing around, and then I realized I can't see the great white shark anymore. It's like, where'd they go? And I realized through the bubbles he's got it on his penis. So like any good, responsible grandfather, I went out and bought a bigger shark for my bath. After he gets out of the tub, he's standing there drying off, and he's doing this. And he keeps looking to the side, and I'm trying to figure out what he's doing. You know? And he's like, "Papa, I have got such a big penis." And I look, and he's looking at his shadow on the floor. I'm like this, and he's checking out the shadow his penis is making. So I tried it, and there wasn't no shadow at all. 6 more weeks of winter. He would, in the summertime, I took him to the park, and he was playing on the merry-go-round, and he would spin around real fast on the merry-go-round, and he'd get off, and he'd lay on the ground, and he'd look straight up, just grinning from ear to ear, you know. And he looked like some heroin junkie, just fired up a big speedball, you know. I thought, man, as a kid, that's that first time you really get high, is spinning on the merry-go-round. And I thought, man, I gotta try that, you know. So I tried it, but that merry-go-round was spinning so fast, the heroin needle kept shooting out of my arm. And, God, I just couldn't get it done. I recently watched this movie on Tubi. I don't know if you know what Tubi is.
Yep. Yes.
Called My Friend Dahmer. And I thought, you know, I watched it. Now, first of all, I should know that I've been a chef for about 45 years. So I watched it with the mindset of a chef thinking, you know, I want to see what culinary techniques he had. And did he learn any recipes or anything like that, you know. That got me to thinking, do other professionals watch movies that way, you know? Like, would it be tough to watch a porno with a gynecologist? Oh, that's definitely a yeast infection. You can see by the right marks there. She's definitely got a yeast infection. That's going to be itchy and painful before the night's over. You know, and I noticed that Dahmer had a younger brother, and how tough his life must have been. You know, it's like, why can't you help out around the house? You know, be like Jeff. He cooks dinner once in a while.
No.
You know what Jeff said to his parents when he had them over for dinner? What do you mean you don't like my friends? You've had 2 helpings.
Holy shit.
Do you know the difference or do you know why a gynecologist is like a pizza delivery guy? They both get to smell it all day, but neither one gets to taste it. Do you know the difference between a toddler and a bag of cocaine? Eric Clapton's never dropped a bag of cocaine out the window. Do you know the difference between weed and pussy?
No.
If you can smell it from across the room, it's probably pretty good weed. Do you know what's missing from kids these days? It's gratitude. Gratitude. And I'll give you a good example of that. Recently, when all my kids had moved out of the house, I gave the neighbor kid, or the kid's trampoline. I took it over there and I set it up, put the netting around it, showed him how it works. Even put him on it, tried to get him to bounce up and down, and all he do was bitch and moan. No gratitude at all. He's like, this fucking thing's ugly. I hate it. Put me back in my wheelchair. Just no fucking gratitude.
Unappreciative.
That's a 17-year-old girl nowadays.
The microphone's over here, not over there. Just so you know. You had a chance, and we'll laugh later about it. Speaking of the neighbor, my dog recently attacked a neighbor, and God, it was fucking vicious. I mean, so bad that, I mean, she's got to be put down, and I got to find a place to bury her and stuff, you know, somewhere where the dog can't find her. An old friend of mine, I'd say ex-friend anyway, he had a dog once, and he told me, he goes, you know, Elmer, I taught my dog how to lick peanut butter off my balls. And I say he's my ex-friend because he hasn't talked to me since I stole his dog. Speaking of dogs, a couple decades ago, the family dog died, you know, and it was a super cold day like today, you know, in the wintertime. Her name was Daisy. She was a beautiful golden lab. Got her when the kids were young, raised her with the kids. She was real protective of the kids. They loved her, you know. They named her Daisy because she was yellow like the flower. So then I had the bad luck of having to call kids and tell them, you know, the dog had died, and I asked, what do you want me to do with the dog? And I said, well, we'd like it if you take her to grandma's and bury her in the flower patch, you know, where the daisies were. And I said, okay, I guess that makes sense, you know. But of course, it's 20 below zero outside. Fucking snow all over the ground. I busted the shovel a couple minutes into it. I got about 6 inches into the ground. Fucking tore one of my gloves, bloodied up my knuckles. I was fucking running out of ideas. I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. And then it started snowing. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that's a fucking sign right there. There's fucking... Changed that dog's name to Dumpster, and I went home. You guys have been great. Thanks.